So now we're on the last tape here, and what I want to talk about is, just to reiterate, you stuck to the diet for 2 months, and you are very strict and careful about it. If you understand the concept of what it is inside of you, you'll understand how to eradicate it and destroy it. You don't want to pay attention to the people who are selling the supplements, because they want you to take these supplements for the rest of your life. It's in their best interest for you to be taking them for the rest of the 3-lac people. They would love you to be taking 3-lac. You know, they tell you once you're cured, then you take 1 package a day for the rest of your life, because they want you to be paying those exorbitant prices for this little bit of powder. And they'll tell you how cheap it is. They'll say, well, it's really only 89 cents a day or something like that. But it's expensive when you're spending that much, and you got to buy a box of that stuff for like $50 or $60, whatever it is, once a month. It adds up, and it's too much, you know, if you're doing that and other things. And then they have all these other line of ingredients and things, supplements that you can take that supposedly make it even better. But with the combination of the two that I mentioned, plus that diet, it's really going to put your system in the right situation, because you want to weaken it, you want to get it to the point, and that's what that diet does. When you're careful and you only eat the foods that you're supposed to be eating, and just stick to that diet strictly. You can't go off it. Don't go out to a party if they're going to be drinking and you're going to be tempted to have a beer or a glass of wine or just a little of this or a little of that. You can't. You can't have a raisin. You can't have a grape. You can't have any fruit. You can't even eat vegetables that are considered to be sweet. So I mean, it's not that fun. But look on the list of the vegetables and fruit, vegetables that you can eat, like cucumbers and salad, because I didn't mention a lot of them, but you can't eat them. My diet was just hard-boiled eggs in the morning, but I would eat enough to really fill myself up. So I was eating a lot of eggs, and I was never used to eating that many eggs in my life. I don't have anything against eggs, but I never really ate that many, and now I had to fill myself up and feel full for the whole morning. I would have to eat like 4 or 5 eggs and vegetables and stuff with it, because there was no bread, and I like to have toast or a bagel in the morning or something like that, or a nice piece of French bread with coffee, and you can't have that. So just stay away from that stuff, but just know that this isn't going to be forever, and the 2 months will go by pretty quickly. It's easier for me to say because they're already gone, but I went through this, and it really does work. You get your body, you get yourself in the right situation. Then after the 2 months are up, like I said, it's up to you. If you want to start after 1 month of the diet, you could start then taking the 3-lac. But if you want to do it another way, you could wait until, I would recommend doing it this way if you can really, if you can do it. Just stick to that diet for 2 months straight, really strictly, and then start taking the 3-lac, maybe anywhere from the 6th week to the 8th week. But take it very gradually and slowly build up. Don't be too ambitious and want to take 3 packages a day from the beginning, because you could have a bad reaction to it. But you shouldn't, because the Candida is going to be so low in your body, you shouldn't have much of a bad reaction. They call it the kill-off, the die-off of the Candida. But you shouldn't have much Candida to die off by then. So you continue to take the 3-lac for 2 months, and take the Synthol for the same 2 months. You can start taking the Synthol maybe after 2 or 3 weeks of taking the 3-lac, and then you take the Synthol for about 2 months too. So we're talking about a total program of about 4 months. But when you start, like I said in the last video, at the start of the 9th week, when the 2 months are up of the strict diet, and you started to take the 3-lac, you can then start to have a little bit of, you should start to take the 3-lac and the Synthol, and you should be taking them for maybe, I would be taking them for about 3 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks, before you start eating anything that has something that can be converted into sugar. Okay? I don't think I was clear about that in the last video, so that's why I'm glad you're watching this one. You shouldn't start eating anything that has, that isn't on that strict list, the Candida diet. Any kind of fruit or vegetable that is kind of sweet, or even a carbohydrate. You shouldn't start eating any of that stuff until you have been taking the 3-lac and the Synthol for at least 2 weeks. I would be taking the 3-lac for about 2 weeks, and then the Synthol. And I mean, you can do them simultaneous too, right from the beginning. The Synthol and the 3-lac, and then 2 to 3 weeks into taking those, that's when you can just start to eat a little bit of fruit. And look for fruit that's on, now you'll go back to your lists, your Candida list, and look for the fruit that's considered to be low in sugars and low in carbohydrates. Eat those first. Don't start eating grapes. They're like the sweetest fruit there is. Go for pears, and try to eat them a little bit crunchier and greener than you normally would, and they'll have less sugar in them. Slowly ease your body into consuming sweets and sugars and stuff like that. And then after maybe a few weeks of just starting to get back into some of the fruits and some of those things, which you're really going to start to feel good because you're going to like having that fiber and the fruit flavor, then you can slowly start easing back into some whole grains like whole wheat bread or whole wheat pasta, brown rice, a little bit. Don't go overboard with any of that stuff. Still, I wouldn't use any like pure sugar, anything that really has sugar or corn syrup in it yet. I wouldn't start consuming that yet for like another whole month, like until after the 3rd month. I wouldn't touch anything that has real sugar in it, or corn syrup, like syrup that you would put on pancakes. Anything that's really, really sweet like that, stick to just natural things. And what's going to be nice is you're going to lose weight from this whole diet. What's really cool is you do lose weight, even though you can eat as much as you want, basically, of meat and vegetables. So then you start in with your all the fruits and the vegetables that you want to eat. You're still taking the 3-lac and the Synthol, and then when you get into your 4th month, then you can start eating some of the stuff like pancakes, bagels and breads. I mean, you can eat a few breads before that, but try to eat whole wheat breads. But I mean, in the 4th month, by then your body, you're still taking the Synthol and the 3-lac, but now your body can handle some of the things that you used to eat before, but don't go overboard with anything. And then by the 5th month, you are pretty much going to be finished with the Synthol and the 3-lac. You're going to be finished with everything, and your body should be back to normal. Congratulations. But, just a little warning, try not to go overboard, because something in your previous diet, in our previous diets, caused us to get into the situation with the Candida. So don't go back to eating tons of sugar and sweets. Be careful with it. Be careful with sugars and sodas and sweet things like that. Look for things that are lower. Try not to be scooping spoonfuls of sugar into things anymore. Be careful about it, but you should be able to. I'm able to use a little bit of sugar now, and I use it, but I'm careful, and I don't have any symptoms, and I haven't had any symptoms for a long time. And I don't take any of those supplements anymore, and that's what's nice about it. So I hope this worked for you. I think I'm still going to make one more, talk a little bit more, because I just want to finish up with one more little chat about this.